Pocketbook is steamrolling through 2023, releasing device after device. This is the latest one, so far, the Verse. This unit is a 6-inch that is replacing the Touch HD3? The Touch Lux 5? Well, we're not really sure because both of those kind of became discontinued at the exact same time. But this is an eink Carta screen, has a smart light, has an SD card, and is actually more economical than the upcoming Pro version in another video. Let's take a look. You know what, I almost want to say let's leave the reading and all the other experiences till the Pro version review after this, but we'll touch on it a little bit here. What I want to show is the actual design. I've never seen Pocketbook devices look so good than they do in this modern age. These are looking very nice. Their buttons are incredibly nice to click. They have these nice raised little lip here so you know exactly where they are. And they're very classy now. They're not big and bulbousy. They're very nicely put at the bottom of the unit. And it actually becomes a trapezoidal shape because of this curved edge, and that plays into the effect when you put it in the palm of your hand. It's not hard like the corner, it's more rounded, which gives you the ability to turn pages like that and not feel stressed out. The packing is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it shows no fingerprints, and the design is beautiful with this nice pocketbook. Not embossed, but it's almost like raised lettering, and it is lasered on there. Nothing on the top, nothing on the side, except down here you have a very nicely tooled out SD card slot, and it even tells you which way to put the SD card with this very nice little symbol there. This is looking tremendous. I love the way these devices are looking nowadays. I also like how they're still going with sunken screen and bezels, which is becoming a little bit of a hard to find thing, we should say. Now for the UI. The UI, you know what, is not that special. And we said in the unboxing, Pocketbook has just been doing this for so long. It really does just look the same as it's been for many moons. You drop the top down, you have your settings, you have flight mode, you have Wi-Fi, dark mode, and then you have your library, notes, store, browser, and apps. Apps is not apps in the traditional sense where you're going to be downloading Outlook and Gmail and stuff like that. They're just a few apps, and we'll get to that in a second. What we want to show you before we go any further, actually, is this, settings, because it must be said that these guys have taken the settings further than any other manufacturer when it comes to personalization, and I'll show you that right now. We're going to skip over accounts, languages, date and time, saving power, maintenance. It's all just the usual stuff. Saving power is just battery things. I mean, it's really just kind of run-of-the-mill. Where it does not get run-of-the-mill and gets completely proprietary to just these guys is all of this. Let's check it out. This is really interesting. We saw this at our table read yesterday. You have front light. Now that's just on or off, and you can toggle it on or off, or you can toggle it on or off from the brightness here. You can turn it up, you can turn the smart light, etc. We all know that. What they do is give you advanced front light settings. And watch this. We're going to make a new profile called test. And what this does, if we edit, allows us to graph every single hour out of 24 hours and tell it exactly where it should be on every single hour. That is insanity to me. I've never seen this on any ebook reader. For example, at 4 p.m. right there, 16, I want my glow light to be all the way to the top, and I want my dotted line smart light to be mid-range. But then, you know what? At 5 o'clock, oh, it's dinner time, I want that off. Maybe I want my smart light all the way up, so that when my glow light turns on in the next hour, it's ready to go at a higher rate. I mean, that's just crazy. I've never seen anything like that on any ebook reader, period. You also have dark mode, which then allows you to invert illustrations in Reader. And dark mode is system-wide. Going back to personalize, we have a lot more. We have G-sensor on or off. We have LED indicator on or off. And we have this one, which is just, it's too much to cover. This is key mapping. You have key mapping in global. You can do home button, hold, menu on and off, or menu double press. And that is a learning curve because there is no home double press and there is no menu long. It's the opposite of that. We'll go back to key mapping and we'll show you whenever you're reading EPUBs, previous page, page forward has holds and not holds of each respective thing, and menu does something. Now, it's not just that telling you what it is, you can customize what it is. For example, menu, long, press, hold on EPUB. I can choose anything, dictionary, about book, search, contents, and I can even go as far as to do system controls with my long press. I can do main menu, front light, on or off, or exit. It is staggering the amount of settings they have given you under key mapping, and you have one more, which is key mapping on PDFs, which can be different than your EPUB files. And this is all things we have to really talk about, because no other manufacturer is going this far to give you this many settings. You also have gestures in reading mode. Aside from the fact that you have physical buttons and the fact that you can move up, down, left, and right, they have swipe from left, swipe from bottom, for swipe from top, reading mode. They have drag and reading mode. It's so much here that I was surprised to find it when we had our discussion. It is quite amazing. The widgets, however, is really nothing. It's just book recommendations on the home screen. And then when you go back, the last thing we want to touch on here is logos. Now, I was expecting the level of customization to continue, and maybe you can use your boot logo to open up a gallery or something like that, but you can't. You either do random, current page, book cover, or pocketbook in general, and that's it. I absolutely adore this section alone, and it was kind of overlooked when we were kind of going over the particulars of the hardware itself. Now let's get into reading. Now, key mapping aside, we're not going to be doing any of those quick keys here. We're just going to show you the reading experience. My biggest gripe with this unit is that I really wish there would have been a speed mode. I can say I want Google Play and I want stereo speakers and I want all this stuff. I don't. I want it to be an ebook reader, but I want a little bit of a speed mode. You can kind of force one. For example, if I do page turns quickly, you'll see that is no longer HD mode. That is stuck in an A2 mode, but it is not controllable globally. It is only controllable circumstantially. And what I mean is when I let go, it refreshes and it says, okay, back to HD mode. And then it kicks back, and now it looks good. But when I navigate through the pages, it's now in an A2 mode. And I kind of like that in a way, because it makes it seem like the unit is fast all the time, because it chooses when to go into its respective speed modes. Tapping the center, you get even more settings by going to settings. You get your font, you get your page, you get your justifications, you get your status bars, you can choose on or off all of these toggles, you get your margins, and you get a ton of fonts. I also like how they added inertia and an A2 mode just isolated in this little section when you're swiping it up and down, but then the entire page refreshes after the fact. Reading on this is going to be no problem whatsoever. Honestly, we haven't found any problems at all, and I actually do appreciate that they do kick it into a little bit of a speed mode when you are turning pages. You also have the ability to long press, of course. Long pressing gives you some things like search in Google, dictionary, and highlight. Now, there's one more thing this can do that a lot of e-readers can't. Take notes, and I don't mean take notes like take notes by long pressing. They allow you to scribble on the screen. You can go like that, box things off, X things out, or you can just go back through everything, and you can go back again if you want to change things up. You have the ability to mark text with a marker, add a comment, save part of the page as an image, use the pencil to draw directly in book. There's a lot of features here for such a small package. Lastly, as promised, apps. These are just simple apps, so calendar, calculator, gallery, dictionary. It is very nice how they give you photo frame. You can change this into a photo frame and prep it up somewhere, and actually you can, on Amazon, you can buy frames, very cheap, just stick on, and you can display all of your photos. I mean, that's honestly a pretty cool thing to have as a default application, especially on something that isn't Android. You have Dropbox support, Pocketbook Cloud, and Send to Pocketbook, all very useful services. You have Onlyhay, excuse me the pronunciation. That is a worldwide bookstore that has many different markets except North America. It doesn't seem to really have any Canada or America locations on there. You also get Chess, Klondike, Sudoku, and Scribble. Scribble's very interesting because you can't use Wacom, of course, but you can use simple styluses like capacitive styluses you can buy on AliExpress. It does kind of look choppy when you're writing, and that's to speed things up, and then it changes into a more refined kind of processed line. You have various colors, 8 in total, various lines, no pressure sensitivity, of course, because it is a capacitive, and yes, you can use your finger. It's the exact same thing because this simulates your fingertip. It does beg the question, what is this replacing? Because As you know, they have the basic Lux, the Touch HD, the Lux 5. They have the ink pad. They have so many units. Now they have the Era, and now they have the Verse line. And they just announced that the Touch HD 3 and the Touch Lux 5 is discontinued. So we're not really sure what this is replacing in the here and now. Is it replacing the Touch Lux 5 and the Touch HD 3 collectively? Is this the new 6-inch that they're moving forward with? The Pro variant is a little bit more beefy, which we're going to get to in a future video and focus more on a type of review with that device. A lot of these need to be answered, and we'll keep you updated as we go. This unit does feature a Carta screen, has an SD card support, and overall good navigation despite it being an economical version. However, there is a competition within itself because the Verse Pro is priced so close at only $40 more. This unit does not have a 1200 screen and lacks any sort of waterproof like its Pro variant. It's hard to see if the Verse is worth it because the Verse Pro was released alongside this. However, if you did want to save a $40 bill, this one will definitely do you. Thanks for watching.